20. Glasgow sitting in second place, who's missed that chance to end 2019 in top spot. The loss to Newcastle bounced back for a very easy win against Wales in the trophy last weekend. Coach Vincent Levandier not yet ready to turn onto his side as title challengers, though, says they need to wait until the end of January. A big heavy run of fixtures until then. With Manchester coming off that 4-point loss to Worthing in the trophy last weekend. Danny Byrne very critical, saying his players didn't take the Thunder seriously enough yet to win in the BBL Championship. Lost at Surrey back on New Year's Day. And tough breaks for them this week. No Delvin Dickerson, out for at least 3 weeks with an ankle injury. Yorick Williams also not available tonight due to work commitments. So Giants arriving here with just 7 players. Kieran Achara's alongside me, and Giants really with it all to do, given the resources at hand against the Rocks.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Delvin Dickerson, he's a player that I looked for. I thought with time he could have been a real threat in the BBL. So being a man down like Delvin Dickerson, that the experience of Williams now missing, I think the Manchester have got a lot to play, a lot to live up to. But at the same time, looking at the positives, I looked at their game against Surrey Scorchers. Phenomenal game. They were in it right to the end. It was just being consistent for 40 minutes. That was something they needed to work on. So I'm sure right now they're going to be taking advantage of what they have. Good to see Cam back in the team, and hopefully they're going to be able to put on a show.
Apart from that loss at Newcastle, in a pretty good stretch at the moment. Maybe tonight a chance once again to implement some of those things, particularly defensively, that Levandier wants, particularly given the changes that they made before Christmas.
Speaking to coach Levandier, his focus is always about improving game by game. You know, it's a learning experience. So any situation thrown their way, he's going to be implementing that or focus on the defensive end, not putting anybody for granted, and making sure they try and put a 40-minute consistent game together.
Well, the Rocks tonight, unsurprising, with a radically different starting lineup from their easy win over Wales in the trophy. Greg Pryor alongside Dante Thorpe in the backcourt. Gareth Murray out in the wing. Recent signing, very impressive, Terrell Vincent, the other big, and Maxime Joabala getting the start time. Has had a calf strain, we understand, so they're starting him with Ali Fraser coming off the bench. As for Giants, James Jones alongside their lead scorer Ingus Bankovic in the backcourt. Callum Jones moves back into the starting lineup. David Wolf and Edo Marquez, their Spanish signing, in the front court. The Rocks tonight in navy blue, the visiting Giants in white. Your 3 officials, Ian McDonald, Clark Wasinski and Chris Johnson. This is the third meeting between these two teams this season. With only went to Manchester's credit all year, that 20-0 default in the opening night of the season in the BBL. The Rocks won the game. Giants the points though. The Rocks fielded ineligible players. The Rocks with a revenge mission here in mid-October when they won by 22. Well, it's the BBL Championship, and it's Glasgow Rocks against Manchester Giants. With the correct possession in the hand of Captain Greg Pryor. Gareth Murray crashing into the backdoor pass to Joabala. Joabala with the start tonight, Kieran, a chance to get that early burn and maybe get some momentum in a different role.
He brings a whole different energy to the game. You know, he's very fast paced, he's got great length, he cleans up, moves off the ball really well. He can play off the ball a little bit more than Ali prefers to do. Ali Fraser can do a lot more with his back to the basket. I think he's more of an inside post player. But yeah, I think it's the different kind of lineups that the Glasgow Rocks can go with. I think it's a real credit to the depth of the squad.
Joabala gets us off the mark here this evening. Big crowd, nice to see at the Emirates. Joabala with a slam, doubles his tally, doubles the lead. Back from the corner. Make it.
Dante Thorpe looked banged up after that huge screen there.
Bankovic second time lucky. The Giants within 3. Bankovic, that's 20 points against Worthing. To no avail in that trophy defeat.
Vankovic, he can really move very well off the ball to get his shot off, and that's something in the BBL that a lot of people really struggle to guard. Players who can come off speed and shoot straight away without actually having to put the ball on the ground.
Murray throws it out. Thorpe from deep. Nails it.
Radisson showing his range. You know, he's came into this role, new stretch four, and can really stretch the floor. Like he said, does exactly what he says in the tin. He finds a way to bring that outside game that really draw the defence out.
Vankovic again couldn't convert. Now Thorpe, jumper, no go.
I think he's still feeling that screen. But Thorpe, another one of those newer players that came into the lineup. Most impressive thing for me is his defence.
And the high shot into the air from Arges cuts the Rocks' advantage to 1. Vincent again. Thorpe on the wing. 3 in the shot clock. Shot off target.
Mismatch there on the post. Arges wanting the ball.
Go for him.
I always found it very difficult playing against teams that didn't bring a full lineup, because we knew that they could shoot the ball and never get subbed out.
Joe Balla now with 6 points. Yeah, of course you remember that game not that long ago when Giants were only able to field 6 players against Newcastle. Lost by 70. Wasn't pretty. Hoping for better tonight. James Jones from deep. And Balla with the board. Balla the kick out. Murray thought about the 3, drives inside, off the glass. Gareth Murray, positive for him to get some early scoring, given that he's been struggling with the shot lately.
I would say, when it comes to Murray, his focus is never on scoring, but at the same time he can be a great scorer, and I think he feeds off easy finishes, early finishes. Watching his shot drop down, he'll gain more confidence as the game progresses, so it's always great for him to get off to a good start.
Eddie Rogers now with 4 points from Manchester. Murray behind the back, hands it off though. Ball movement in the perimeter for Glasgow. Now inside. 1 pass too many, perhaps 2.
It's not even that. I'm looking at it defensively. It's quite confusing. I'm trying to work out if Knights are dropping back into a zone defence, or if they're just kind of playing off their man and kind of baiting the Glasgow Rocks to shoot the ball. It's quite an interesting one to see. I'll pick it up after a couple of offences.
These, of course, the 2 lowest scoring teams in the league, both averaging 74 points per game. Foul on the floor is called. Difference though defensively between these 2. Glasgow at the top ranked defence is giving up 74 points per game. Manchester 12th and last, 96 points conceded per contest.
And getting that defensive consistency can also be very difficult when they're losing players for injury, players coming in, players going away. Players off sick, only having 7 players travelling for the game. It can be very, very demanding to play 40 minutes with a smaller lineup. So I'm hoping as the season progresses and they get a few bodies back, that defensive number will pick up.
Arges from right. Foul drawn inside there. Bala's such a strong physical presence.
And like I say, a lot of it spurs from his movement. I actually think when it comes to talking about physical presence, Fraser is by far one of the most physical players in the league. It's the wiry strength of Bala, but he moves so well off the ball that he's always creating himself opportunities to get to the free throw line, to get some easy buckets, and thankfully he can knock down his free throws as well, so the points just rack up.
Well, shooting 50% hitherto this season. That's 3 for 3 though so far this evening. Can he stay perfect now? Answer yes. Bala, 8 points in this game. 5 minutes played in this first quarter. Of course, 3 other games going on tonight. Plymouth hosting London Lions, Worcester hosting Cheshire, and Leicester Riders visiting Bristol. And of course, the Rocks would go top tonight if they win and Plymouth prevail against London. So lots of incentives for Glasgow on this Friday evening. Vincent, hand off to Murray, takes the 3.
I finally worked out it's actually a switching defence they're playing, so they're just kind of baiting on the ball screen, making the simple switch, but keeping their shape, which makes it really hard for Glasgow to penetrate.
Which I guess, given the fact they've got a smaller lineup, as Thorpe breaks away with the stuff. And immediately, Danny Byrne calls a timeout off the back of an 8-2 run for the Rocks. And we talked about those other fixtures tonight. I mean, a couple of moves today in the league. I mean, Leicester bringing in Jordan Spencer, who had such a great season last year at London Lions, was released a few days ago by Schalke Riders. I picked him along with British Canadian guard Corey Johnson, who's been playing in Spain. I mean, Leicester have had a rough start, but those, particularly with Spencer, really solid moves.
I think Spencer is a great signing for Leicester Riders. He automatically brings a new dimension, like from a scoring perspective. He knows how to score the ball. He, on the backcourt with Justin Robinson, it was a really dynamic duo. It was really hard to guard. So I expect a lot from Spencer coming into this. And you can never count out the Riders. Paternoster's there. He always finds a way to get the team clicking at the right time. So I'm excited about the season and seeing Spencer coming back into the league.
Yeah, London Lions with a move today, signing American forward Boué Tuach. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. We haven't checked it yet, but the champions continuing to strengthen, particularly in the wake of that surprising loss to Solent in the BBL Trophy last week, and of course that all-EBL quarter-final. The first time we've seen that NBL team guaranteed a semi-final place in the BBL Trophy. So interesting times this year, keeps it exciting. Back we go here between Glasgow and Manchester. Floater in the lane. I think it's a goal. Yes, it is the continuation. Arguez's baskets will count. First foul.
I've always got a bias with lefties, but he seems very fundamental. Arguez, he likes to shoot the ball, but he can also like a really nice pump fake there, drive to the basket, get his defender off his feet.
Completes the 3-point play. 4 points the difference. Vincent onto the trail to Thorpe. A nice relationship already between those two.
And from a Glasgow Rocks perspective, they can start living off that. Getting the ball inside. Right now, the Manchester are forced to double team every time the ball goes inside. There's always going to be a player open. So if the person catching the ball in the post takes his time, he will be able to find an open man and get an easy look at the basket.
Oh, Vincent with a strip in the backcourt there. Let's hear it. Zabala tried to extend his own personal hold. James Jones with a crossover. Kick back. Ryan Jeffert won't go. Finished by Thorpe.
That's something that Glasgow Rocks have really improved over the last 4 or 5 games, is being able to get out on the break, you know, turning defence into instant offence and getting easy looks at the basket. And the only way that happens is becoming one of the top defensive teams in the league. The only way you're going to be able to run out in the break is if you're getting stops.
Well, Ali Fraser checks into the game for the first time for Glasgow alongside Tanis Rinkunas. And Ronald Alkansis, the Latvian, who's averaging 7 points and 6 boards per game. In from Manchester, David Ilf taking a breather as Callum Jones goes to the line. Second one goes. Zach Powell in from Manchester for his first minutes of the night. Kunis to go, the score off the glass for Vincent. James Jones with the floater. Second chance opportunity, won't go. Fraser, first chance offensively to impress off the glass straight away.
It's quite an interesting switch up there. So they were double teaming every other player who got the ball in the post, but leaving the Ali Fraser alone to go 1-on-1. Could be a really tough matchup for anyone who's trying to guard, especially with missing the size of the likes of Dickerson. So I'm curious to see if that was just a breakdown in the defence, or is that something they're actually looking to implement.
Feed inside, and nice finish from Arges.
Excellent pass there, really excellent pass.
Game 10 points for the Spaniard. Miss of the game. Back of it from deep. Murray, plenty of time, plenty of space, just bobbles out. Saved by Van. James Jones kicked the foul, repeated. James Jones, second chance taken. 7. 2 seconds left in this first period. Last substitutions from Glasgow. Gareth Murray returns. Fraser Malcolm and Johnny Bunyan in for the first time this evening. Fraser Malcolm. Powell, guarded by Bunyan. James Jones. Put away by Rinkunas. Fraser, 1-on-1. Passes to Bunyan on the trail. Fraser Malcolm in the corner, buries it. 3 points.
Great extra pass there by Rinkunas, but I was so amazed with Fraser's movement there. You know, he was stopped at the half court, but you know, for a big guy, really versatile, being able to move, very agile, to change direction and get up the floor.
Zach Powell lets one fly. As time expires at the end of this first quarter, it does not fall. Rocks shooting 64% in that opening period. Manchester 35%. Game high, 10 points for Edu Arquez. Matching Joe Balla leading Glasgow with 8 at the end of the first quarter here at the Emirates Arena. It is Glasgow leading Manchester 26-17. Evening in the BBL Championship. Plymouth 5 minutes into the contest, the Raiders leading London Lions by 13 to 11 at the University Roost to the Wolves, 20 to 14 to the Good over Phoenix. Now with a minute to play in the opening period and the second period at the Bristol with a surprisingly large 29-18 lead over the Riders. Very fine first quarter. Gentry Thomas has 18 of those 20 points. The BBL Cup finalists. Second quarter here. It's underway. Giants to make up already. By Murray gives it to Callum Jones. Feed inside went nowhere. Fraser the beneficiary. Johnny Bunyan has got lots of time. Opts for the pass though. Swings it inside to Fraser. Looks for help. Fraser Malcolm ran into traffic. Shot clock down to 10. Murray, some urgency. Drives inside strong. Pass blocked. Zach Powell. The corner, finds a way out.
Well, he slept there by Murray.
Nice defense there from Fraser Malcolm. Away with it. Murray at the other end extends Glasgow's lead. Double figures for the first time. Murray with 4 points.
Glasgow Rocks are really making it difficult right now for fans to get easy looks. So they're working so hard to get a shot up, but at the same time, Glasgow Rocks are attacking them. As soon as they get the ball, they're attacking the paint, attacking the glass, and they're trying to get to the line.
Fraser drew the foul. As he went in. Edu Arquez returns for the Giants in place of David. Dante Thorpe replaces Gareth Murray for Glasgow. 15 seconds in the shot clock. Johnny Bunyan, the inbounder. Dante Thorpe. Hand off to Fraser. The back down, the hook shot, the make. Familiar from Ali Fraser,
but very much so. And at the same time, they're mixing and matching in their defence. You know, sometimes they're going single coverage, sometimes they're going double teaming. I'm not sure if it's the game plan or if it's just kind of the advantage of making something happen.
Pinner's the beneficiary there. Malcolm went up fully expecting to get the call. Wants to get the point. Tornado run now for the hosts. Oh, with the feed to Callum. Shot cook. No option but to shoot.
Oh, great pass there. Great pass there by Pearl.
Just great alertness there. Saving offence. 13 points still the gap though for Manchester. Johnny Bunyan nowhere to go. Gets it to Fraser. Maybe more with hope than expectation on that one. Giants on the break. Marquez into the air, falls in. Marquez now
with that high arching
points.
That high arching arc. No pun intended, but it's looking nice, and you can obviously see he scores. You know, he's a scorer. He's averaging close to 16 points a game so far for Manchester, and it's much needed. They need to get those points going.
Malcolm foul. We'll go to the line for two. Look at me, a player who started the season very well, clearly drifted out of favour, has come out tonight and has been really aggressive and is getting himself involved. He's probably showing things that a coach wants to see.
I saw glimpses of that actually against Basketball Wales. It was actually a great platform to try and get something back. You know, he was given more meaningful minutes. He got the opportunity to show what he could do. You know, he was a little bit up and down at times, but he kept on sticking with it. You know, and I know what he's capable of. You know, he can make shots. He can defence. Also at the same time, he got a dunk against Basketball Wales. That's when I started to realise. You know, when I saw him get that dunk, that was kind of thought process that he's maybe not thinking about the injury he just overcame anymore. You know, and that can be the mental aspect of that can be really daunting on a player.
Yeah, we've seen the talent of him certainly in there. Bankovic in the corner, through ball a little long, more hustle though. Giants certainly short-handed but not short of fight.
And that's why you have to love Callum Jones. Callum Jones, for his size, guard position, the way he can rebound, he's relentless on the glass, and he just sticks with it. He's very even keel. He doesn't really lose it too many times. He's been through some hard times, had some success, but he just keeps going, and I think it's great to see.
Fraser Malcolm pulling the trigger.
There's his spin move.
James Jones. 3 ball off. Another board for Fraser Malcolm. Kunis for 3. Well, he has been encouraged to go inside more. His 3-point shot not been his weapon lately. Drive there to the basket for Marquez.
I think that was James Jones with the assist there. That was a great vision. Could have been an and one call there in the end too. I think they got a little bit of contact, but great finish.
Deficit now down to just 7 points as we go through the 5-point mark in this second period. Thorpe will have to shoot it. Does make it. Dante Thorpe, 9 points in this game. Lead into double figures once more.
And that's a shot I think that Manchester would live with. You know, Thorpe didn't even want to shoot the ball at that moment in time. I'm not saying he can't shoot a great finish there by Harkett. But you can see that he's second guessing that shot. You know, and it's one of those situations. He's so dangerous on the drive. It's maybe one of the shots they're willing to give up.
Marquez remarkably with 20. Manchester 29 points, but there are 3 in response.
Bunyan, on the other hand, is a player you don't want to leave open. You want to encourage him to drive.
Johnny Bunyan's first score of the game. On defensive duties. Marquez the bullet pass inside. Callum Jones off the glass. Calm as you like. Giants very credibly holding on here. Fraser spins inside, knocks it off the glass. Ali Fraser, patented move.
tough shot there by Elksness.
Kunis was blocked effectively going up. Fraser though, long two, inside and out. Danny Byrne wants a timeout with less than 3 minutes to play in this second period. I mean, the Rock's pulling away, but I think what you like about Match, here's a team that's bottom of the league. It hasn't won a game if we disregard the points they got awarded against Glasgow. They've taken a long trip up here tonight, but they're scrapping and defensively, and not necessarily, Rocks are still scoring at a fair clip, but you have to like the energy that they're still playing with. When a lot of teams in this sort of situation this time of the season can start to get their heads down, fold.
Well, I always give credit to the coach when I see situations like that. When it's tough times, you're missing a few key players. You've had a few tough stretches of games. You haven't been able to grind out that win, but you're still continuously fighting and giving your all. That's credit to the coach. There has to be a level of motivation there. There has to be a willingness to want to play for somebody. So, like I said, Danny Byrne he's a guy that you have to love, and I'm sure the players love playing for him. So I think that's what gives him that edge and it keeps him going. But I wholeheartedly believe that you bring Dickerson back into that mix, you start getting a little bit more focus, they will start knocking down some wins, and that will be a big scare to a lot of teams, because teams are now competing for championships. They cannot afford to mess up.
Yeah, Danny, who was telling me before the game, got diagnosed with that torn cartilage this week, so I said jokingly, would you not fancy sitting up? He said no, a chance. Of course, they've also got Jack Hudson, who they were hoping to have back, did have an MRI earlier this week. They haven't got the results back, but they think he may have torn his cartilage. It'd be quite sad, could put him out for the season. Giants, resources at a premium as they get the ball knocked out of bounds with an end-line ball. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. There's no Yorick Williams tonight either, which is quite looking forward to see. 44 years young, the oldest player in the league.
So many fond memories playing with Yorick, and not so fond memories too. But he was just a warrior. I was very fortunate to get to go to a GB camp with him, and he learned so much from him. He was actually, a great competitor.
I think he's a guy over the years always had a certain reputation, and in real life was nothing like that. A lovely guy, really nice, really passionate. Perhaps a little too much on court at times, but a real character and a terrific servant to British basketball. Very devoted to his day job though, working in a school, so couldn't make this game. Bankovic the kick out. Arquez into the air once more, short in that attempt.
It's a great close out there by Fraser. Couldn't allow Arquez to find his rhythm. Another turnover there by the Glasgow Rocks.
Substitution for the Giants. 1:41 in the second quarter.
Lavande definitely was not happy with that turnover.
Demanding a lot of his players, as we see on the sideline.
Well, it's quite a tough situation, because sometimes you want ball movement, you want the team to swing the ball, share the ball, but they're turning down open looks to then try and make the extra pass, and those turnovers are, they're so costly.
Callum Jones with that earlier assist through the 1,000 mark in his BBL career. That's another foul, holding foul. First foul picked up by Bankovic. Shot clock at 14. Fraser really unstoppable in the low post with that move. Arquez against Vincent, who's returned. The American with the better of that exchange. Thorpe couldn't quite control it. Rocks still charging here. Fraser. Well, gravity not his friend.
A rare miss there. One thing that's amazing from Fraser is that it is his efficiency. You know, he's a player who actually prides himself on that. He's a math genius, you would say. He knows every single stat as the game progresses. So it's a gift and a curse, I would say, because if he misses a couple, it plays in his mind.
Well, a floater there from David Ulf doesn't quite drop. Will be still as that or Giants' possession. Yeah, Fraser, of course, doing his masters in. Was doing his masters in coding, so he's a bit of a numbers man, putting up good numbers so far this evening. Bankovic, the floater off the glass, makes it,
and that's that movement I was talking about from Bankovic. It's great to see how he curls off screens. He uses his screens so well, so tight, it makes it very, very difficult to guard.
Dante Thorpe, the floater from the corner, makes it. Dante Thorpe takes his tally into double figures with 11. 15 seconds remain in this first half. Shot clock is off. Powell on the charge inside. Fraser with the block ends that last opportunity from Manchester. Glasgow Rocks led by 10 points from Ali Fraser, will lead by 14 into the break. Game high 20 points for Edu Arquez. The difference really between the sides, Glasgow shooting 60% from the field, Manchester 38. Well, they are battling, and I guess for Vincent Lavande, the challenge of going into this locker room now is, what do you say to your players? You know, how do you say, when you've got a good lead, you know you'll probably run out winners in this game. What do you challenge your players to do in the second half?
It's the learning. You know what, Vincent Lavande is very, very good at saying, you know, whatever situation you're in, it's always about the next situation. Think about the breakdowns. This might be a trophy final, or you're playing the game to win the league. You know, you need to get this head to head. There's always some type of added incentive there, and no matter what the situation is, it's a constant learning experience. So, you know, we always talk about the Rocks breakdown in the third quarter. That's maybe going to be an area of emphasis right now. Look, we're going to win this third quarter no matter what happens, you know. So I think that's where the focus has to come in.
Quick update before we head off for the break. Elsewhere, 5 minutes left in the second quarter. London Lions have taken the lead, 36-32 over Plymouth. Worcester 37-21 to the good over Cheshire. Phoenix 3 minutes to play in the second period, and Bristol Flyers, subject to a comeback from Leicester Riders, they lead 42-39 with 2 to play in the second period. We'll be back in about 10 minutes time for the second half here. Glasgow leading Manchester 47-33.
Two teams, St. Constantine's and St. Philomena's playing on court. Orange and yellow, St. Constantine's and St. Philomena's. St. Philomena's playing in the
welcome back to the Emirates Arena on this Friday night.
1, 2.
There we are. Welcome back. Yes, it is Glasgow Rocks leading Manchester Giants 47-33 here in the BBL Championship. I'm grabbing a quick word there with Giants coach Danny Byrne. He said the big thing for us in the second half, obvious one, up our defence. Says he's saying the Rocks are getting too many easy back cuts in his words, so a bit of tightening there. And said offensively wants them to go out more in transition, turn this into more of a running game. As for Glasgow, well, in control at the moment. Ali Fraser saying what Vincent Lavandier wanted in the locker room at halftime was more energy, wants them to play defence the way they want to play it and get loose balls, defensive rebounds, a bit more fight out in the floor. Kieran Chara's alongside me, fair from both teams.
Yes, I think they're kind of doing themselves a discredit, Manchester, and saying it was the backcourt. I felt that it was essentially their turnovers that led to a lot more points in the break, and that breakdown in itself caused them a few problems. That was maybe 10 points, they're counting for 10 points, I think. That's a big difference right there.
First offence of this third quarter comes tonight for Glasgow. Giants is just 7 players here this evening, but are scrapping. Quick shot off the glass, won't fall. And David Wolf. Jumper for Clark does fall out. Rocks off and running in this third quarter.
I think that was Pryor's first points of the game. You know, and that shows you how the Glasgow Rocks have evolved. You know, at the start of the season, Greg Pryor was having to do everything, you know, and don't get me wrong, he still can. He can put up points on the board, no problems. But you know, scoring 47 points and a half, and you know, your point guard, one of your main scorers, hadn't even made a basket. It shows you the depth of the scoring that the Glasgow Rocks now possess.
Yeah, he had that hot period at the start. Was averaging nearly 20 points a game. 9 cents. Dante Thorpe though, averaging 13 a game, and it now has 13 this evening. That's my first look at Thorpe in the flesh, and just lots of energy. Rookie season out of Northern Illinois, taking the most of his chance here in Europe. Inline ball.
That's his activity defensively too, is so impressive. You know, he's got such long arms, and he gets them in the passing lanes.
Bankovic seemed to get knocked as he went up there. No foul called though. Thorpe stuffs it in on the break. Timeout. Danny Byrne, arms out, asks his players, what are you doing out there? Exasperation on his face. Those silly mistakes that he was talking about to me there a few minutes ago, just little moments, as you said, when the Rocks were able to pull away Giants, switching off at periods of time and runs coming as we've seen them.
Yeah, that's the only way you can describe it. It's frustrating, you know, it's frustrating, but that's how you know, when you're 0-5 and you're losing close games, it's those little errors that cost you the game, and by costing you the game, it becomes habitual. It's something that you maybe neglect, and you're looking for home runs really early and trying to get the scoring, but you're neglecting the little details, the intricate details defensively that could actually bring you back in the game.
3 other games tonight in the BBL Championship. London Lions looking to solidify their place at the top of the table. Half-time they lead Plymouth 54-43 over Isoko back. Tonight for the Lions, Worcester 42-29 ahead of Cheshire at the break, and Bristol 47-43 to the good against Leicester Riders. Other games this weekend coming up tomorrow night. Surrey Scorchers hosting Newcastle Eagles. Possible return for Royal Glasgow for Newcastle. Sunday, Cheshire hosting Plymouth, and a big derby at the Copper Box. London Lions hosting London Royals, who are, contrary to fears, still alive and kicking.
That Glasgow coming back to Newcastle, it's one of those situations that you're thinking, wow, Newcastle, they're forced to reckon with, and then you forget that one of their main scorers been out, who can really change the game.
Yeah, of course, CJ Gary's so good since he came back, 14 rebounds a game, lots of scoring as well. Yeah, Eagles, despite a slightly patchy start, could be one of those teams that could easily catch fire as we head towards the midway point in the season.
It's a well executed play there. Vincent Labande will be very happy with that. Unfortunately, Pryor missed the jump shot, but that was the right shot.
Second foul goes against Dante Thorpe. Exchange from the Jones brothers. Callum on the ball. Floater off the glass, Callum Jones.
As I alluded to the last time they played, it was that spin move there, Callum Jones, it's his go-to move. In the scouting report, that was always in the scouting report, you knew that he wanted to do that, and points like that, when someone scores, it's a great move, but when you know that's what they're trying to do, it's very frustrating for the coach perspective.
Jump ball is called and will go in the way of Manchester Giants. Callum Jones, the younger of the two brothers, a combined age 70. 2 years the difference. You can work out the maths there, what age each of them are. Elder statesman in this Jones basketball dynasty. The handoff to Thorpe. Burgeoning chemistry in the backcourt for those two. Fraser. Foul this time. It was called.
And that's promising for me from Manchester's perspective. That you know, that James Jones relentless there, going after the but making it tough for Fraser to get comfortable into his move. That, like I'd mentioned before, that they cannot go one-on-one coverage with Fraser down there.
Dante Thorpe again to Vincent in the corner. His pass knocked out of bounds. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Danny Byrne on the sideline, arms folded, looking for something from Manchester. Fraser with the step back, short. Shot clock will reset though at 14. Pryor calls the play. Murray on the wing, guarded by Callum Jones. Murray pulls the trigger, won't go.
Back on the defense.
Callum Jones very active. Pryor comes away with it. Thorpe, top of the key, wide open, makes it. Lead extended, 19 points for Dante Thorpe.
I believe that's his third three-pointer as well. He's starting to feel it now.
10-2 start to this third quarter for Glasgow. Shot full for Arquez, who will go to the line. Arquez, who spent last season in the German Pro B with Bochum, averaged 12 points per game. Southpaw swing into the basket, 21 points on the night. Does have such versatility in offense, doesn't he, Kieran?
Yeah, but for me right now, he hasn't really been tested to go right. I know from experience, being a lefty myself, we don't tend to like to go use our right hand. So right now, the times he's driven to the basket, it's been strong left-hand drives, but he's been able to fake his shot. He's been consistent with his jump shot, or he's been putting the volume shots up, but at the same time he's been knocking down shots. It's opened up his drive, but at least make him force it onto his right hand and show something different.
Pryor makes the score from downtown. We'll go to the line with a chance of the three-point play. David Ulf takes a breather. Ronald's Exness back on the floor. Pryor adds that in. 5 points in the game for the Rocks co-captain as we head through the midway point of this third period. Callum Jones, double team came, switch is forced. James Jones in the corner, 1 second on the shot clock, no alternative.
Another great extra pass, but there just wasn't enough time on the clock for him to get into his rhythm. But I was looking at Ulf coming off there on the bench, and it's something I've always intrigued by, even as a player now, as a spectator or commentator, whatever you want to call me. I'm always looking at the body language of players when they're coming off the court, and right now I feel that you can see there's a little bit of negativity brewing. There's the spin, but that negativity it can spread, and it's a hard funk to get yourself out of, especially when you're losing some games. But you have to find a way as a leader. I look at the Jones brothers, and they maybe have to bring that extra spark to try and keep the guys positive, keep them going, because that's the only way they're going to be able to find their ways back into games.
Second foul against Greg Pryor.
What was it called? Was that technical there?
A technical foul was called. Couldn't quite see who it was against from this angle. Callum Jones off balance, nearly converted. Last person to touch it, adjudged to be Zach Powell.
Now again, great fight there, and that's the positivity I'm talking about. The fighting for the scrapping for those extra points, those extra possessions.
A technical foul adjudged against Rocks coach Vincent Levandier, maybe against the coach on the bench. Big three there for Vincent.
I think he's been a very positive reinforcement, Vincent. He's got that experience. He's not a rookie player, and I'm not discrediting any rookies, but at the same time he brings an extra added bonus in leadership and experience, which is sometimes needed.
Yeah, he's been around the block, certain European terms, and missed a good chunk of the last year while recovering from an injury. Vincent Levandier did say we'll need about a month's adjustment to get back into game flow. I think so far a commendable start to his BBL career. Greg Pryor, his second season in the BBL. Altsness crowded out, gets it to Bankovic from downtown. Can't take. Points for the Latvian. Less than 3 to play in this third quarter. Pryor fouled as he drove in.
Powell showed his athleticism there after the buzzer. Oh, that caught me by surprise.
Wasted effort then. Second foul on Zach Powell. Murray the inbounder. Fraser, the spot where he likes it. Spin move. Halted by Elksness. Giants now in the bonus already. Fraser to the foul line. Johnny Bunyan quickly replacing Dante Thorpe, who gets a round of applause as he goes to the bench. Fraser, first foul shot of the night. misses its mark. Second one good though. Fraser, 11 points. 5 of it shooting from the field. Now an extra foul to his name.
Fraser upset with that foul there, and that's another thing I would say about Bankovic's game. He was. I look back a few years ago. Dan Routledge is probably going to correct me on this, but he was one of the best at drawing fouls. He was so good at it. He just knew all the movements, when to lift his arms, when to kick out his leg, and get into the free throw line. He's just a master at that.
Powell, well, he knew the shot clock was about to expire, spills the ball. 24-second violation.
Substitution for the Giants. Subs for the Giants. And substitution for the Rocks. Taking Red Vincent on the court. Draw by
David Ulf.
James Jones back in.
Ulf's really impressed. I mean, he had that one game he played for Mersey Tigers back in that last season when they went 0-33. He's been playing Division 2 for Liverpool since then, but has come back into the BBL this year. And amongst all the difficulties Manchester have had, playing very well. Pryor with the miss, gets another chance. Fraser, kick out. Joe Ballot has returned, hook shot for the Frenchman. Cameroonian born, raised in France, we should say.
And that's the Glasgow Rocks going a lot bigger, you know. As you saw, Vincent Lavandi, he has switched up the lineups. He is experimenting out there, which is good. It's a good learning experience. But going back to Ulf, I'm really impressed with the way he rebounds the ball. You know, he just goes again like Cam Jones. He just goes after it. And sometimes that's what it takes. It just takes someone with that kind of conviction who just wants to go get the ball.
foul is called against the Giants.
Third foul against Ulf. We'll send Greg Pryor to the line, 1 of 1 on his trips there this evening.
I think he's going to get subbed out after this for Rinkunis, and I always felt the most pressure when someone was subbing in from the free throw, because I believed if they thought if I missed it, I was doing it purposefully to stay on the court longer.
Which you were, obviously.
Yeah, obviously that was exactly. To be fair, my last few seasons I wanted off the court as much as I wanted on it, so.
It wasn't your head that wanted you off, it was just your body.
Exactly.
Aging, decrepit body.
Talk about aging, how was your 50th birthday there?
Yes, a big thanks to John Bunyan for that incorrect stat on air last weekend as I was watching from the States. It was a very nice birthday. 50 seconds remain, third period. Fraser threw down low, and Kunis for 3, just off. James Boyce, a nice feed inside. Johnny Bunyan takes the board, shot clock is off. Bunyan holds.
I'm so proud of Bunyan for that. That shows his maturity. Being able to see the actual shot clock and understand that they want to hold the ball for the last shot.
Murray there drew the foul of Elksness. That patented Gareth Murray head jerk. Fraser Malcolm replaces Ali Fraser for the last 6.7 seconds of this third period. Gareth Murray, another 5 points in this game. As Fraser's Malcolm is sent inside to gather any rebound that goes a-begging, which won't be there. 2 of 2 for Gareth Murray. Rocks in a 6-0 run. Quick score, quick shot needed. Zap Powell into traffic. Won't go. Fraser Malcolm rebound end of the third quarter, and Glasgow Rocks sitting very pretty. They lead Manchester Giants 69 to 39. And Kieran, one interesting comment from that Ali Fraser told me coming out of that locker room at halftime was not just that Vincent Lavande wanted them to perform well for today, but also to get ready for the games ahead. And how useful is it sometimes to have a contest where, with respect to Manchester, it's a very likely win, just to think, well, we play the X team next week, can we run something to see how that works, to prepare for it, just as a kind of living dress rehearsal?
I think that the main point you get from it is it's learning not to be complacent, not playing to the level of competition, wherever that may be. It was very easy, even from a Glasgow Rocks perspective when I was there, was to get focused on the big games, and you come up with a big win or whatever it may be, but then you lose this one, you lose that one. Championship teams do not do that. They find a way to stay consistent and find a way to win no matter what is thrown in front of them. So that's the main message Lavande is trying to put out there, is no matter what's going on in whatever situation, it might be the fourth quarter, the focus might be now to say, like, okay, let's win this quarter, let's show, even though they've got a big lead at this moment in time, just continuously win, beat teams down. From a Manchester Giants perspective right now, they have to go after those small wins. Let's go and win these next 2 minutes. With the lineup we have on, whatever situation, let's try and get 3 stops in a row. These are little positives you can take a little bit carrots and carry on onto the next game.
As you say, for Manchester, being short-handed, they're down in America. They can really use reinforcements, even with the 2 or 3 players that they have out. I guess for them to win games down the stretch, it's going to be about defence. If you can't keep giving up 96 per game and expect to win games. That
is the key to winning games in general. If you look at the likes of your Leicester Riders, London Lions, they've been strong defensively consistently. You can't always count. Great finish there by Brinson. You can't always count on scoring. It's never going to happen. You're going to have off days, but if you can stay consistent with your defense, you're always going to be in a game. Another thing for me is the excuses. As a team, you don't want to live and die by the excuses. Like when you're going to be a man down, it's basketball. It's always going to happen. These situations arise. Don't get me wrong, Manchester Giants are in a really bad situation right now, and you can make excuses for them. But from a team perspective, you don't want those excuses. You look at, again, I'll always go back to the Leicester Riders, who were one of the dominant forces over the last few years. We would always say there was players out. This player, Bernardini, would be out injured, or Drew Sullivan, or Peter Hampton. You're like, yes, we're going to win this game for whatever reason. And you always understood that they were always in games because they stuck to their defensive principles.
Well, talking of Leicester, 7 to play in the third period. They lead Bristol Flyers now. 53 to 49 is the foul. It's drawn here. And elsewhere, Worcester pulling away from Cheshire, 56 to 39, with 2 to play in the third period.
Been really impressed with the Wolves.
And they're into that cup final in a few weeks' time. And Worcester Wolves really on a roll. And elsewhere, London Lions look to be solidifying their place at the top of the BBL as Fraser Malcolm knocks down that free throws. The Lions 64-52 lead at Plymouth. 5 minutes to play in the third period. That man Ovi Soko, 16 points, game high there. Picked up another endorsement deal today. Threatening to become the highest earning ever BBL player, I imagine. Vincent went down quite heavily. Referees, as a precaution, opt to stop play, picks himself up.
been really impressed with Vincent and Thorpe's composure as well. You know, decisions don't always go their way, and they're not like me and complain about everything. They just kind of get on with it.
Flew to there from Bankovic.
Great finish there.
To double digits. Caps an 11-0 run for Glasgow. Fraser Malcolm extended time tonight. Well earned though on his performance so far. Third foul against Zach Powell. 3 Giants players now and 3 fouls. Given that they've only got 7 players, maybe some caution required. Fraser Malcolm back to the bench. Rinkunas returns. Vincent. The feed inside. Joe Abala with the and one opportunity. And a lovely wraparound pass on Vincent there.
And I was just so impressed by Abala's hands. He went to dunk that ball there and had to contort, just palming the ball and change the direction. That was a great finish.
Joe Abala, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Rocks rolling away here early in the 4th.
I would love to see a stat on the interior play of the bigs at the Glasgow Rocks, and specifically Abala getting that extra feed. So Vincent was obviously double teamed there. He kept his head up, saw the pass, but the movement of Abala, he just creates opportunity for himself. I was too busy floating at a 3-point line to actually make those interior cuts, but there may have been a lot more points on the board for me.
It's just the way the game's going, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pass you missed your calling. You know, your career was over when the 3-point revolution was coming in. You know. Third foul on James Jones. Bunyan, shot clock at 10. Vincent. Referee's having a debate. Will be a Rocks ball. 4 on the shot clock. Bunyan to inbound.
Was there a foul called there? Technical foul?
Ball has certainly gone to the other end of the court.
as much as I just said of Vincent's composure, he ends up getting a technical 2 plays down the line.
Bankovic takes the bonus.
I'll take full responsibility for that one.
So play resumes. 4 still on the shot clock. Bunyan, the quick take. Oh, nearly got it. Abala with the rebound, makes it off the glass. Joe Abala, 13 points.
15 personal for Joe Abala. On defense.
Latvian 1-2 there. The drive inside, the finish by Arges. That's 23 points. Thorpe, guarded by James Jones. Vincent, the reverse, very calm.
The Glasgow Rocks ball movement at this moment in time is... Oh, what a move there!
A great finish by Arges.
Oh, I hope I got on the soundbite there for that highlight. That was phenomenal.
That's all you want, your Twitter numbers.
Trying to average 3 soundbites a game right there.
Foul from behind. Committed by Arges. I mean, Giants, you can see the little flurries of execution when they get it right. It's not a team that's devoid of good plays and solid initiative out there.
Well, we talked about it. They can score. Obviously, they haven't been putting the points up as much. The Rocks are averaging 74 points a game, just like the Manchester Giants. But at this moment in time, the Rocks have 82 points. That's unacceptable when you're looking from a defensive stat. A team that's not scoring the ball so much, who've already scored 81 points with 6:30 to go in the game. It just shows that the focus is maybe not in the right place at times. No discredit to the Glasgow Rocks. They're moving the ball really well, but you have to try and disrupt that movement, do different things, change up different things, give different looks. You're not going to live and be in games if you're just going to focus on the offensive end.
Elksness doesn't find its mark. Thorpe skips away. Fraser creates some room for him. Now gets the return. Bunyan. Return to Fraser. Rinkunas, lots of time. Still struggles with that 3-point shot. Only shooting 35% from deep.
Foul goes against the Giants.
Third foul on Bankovic.
That brings the Rocks to line for 2. Rocks at line for 2.
Some conversation between our three officials tonight as Thorpe loiters on the free throw line in the expectation of 2 opportunities to add to his tally.
And 5:34.
Rocks, of course, with a double header at home next weekend. BBL Championship action on Friday night here at the Emirates Arena. Sheffield Sharks, the visitors, and then 2 days later, the quarter-finals of the BBL Trophy. Cheshire Phoenix, the visitors that evening. Manchester Giants in action that evening at George Carnell when they host Newcastle Eagles. Both those games Sunday the 19th, 5 p.m. starts. So no foul has been given. We resume from mid-court. Dante Thorpe, step over, 4 in the shot clock, has to go for the floater, gets the floater, 21 points for Dante Thorpe.
And that's something you can clearly see he works on. He's got that floater down to a T.
It's a pathway blocked. Less than 5 to play here on this Friday night. Bunyan for 3.
Back on the defense.
Okay, it's just 1 rebound short of a double-double. Callum Jones.
Oh,
Bunyan, lovely feed. Fraser, lovely finish. Callum Jones, just thought he'd dunk it. You'd think he'd have dunked it.
or at least slap the backboard.
8 points for Callum. 4 minutes to go. Fraser won't fall. Well, turnovers piling up as Alex Geddes replaces Tadas Rinkunas. I think as if someone on the signal at Vincent Livandier thinks this game is in the bag. Fraser blocked by Elksness. End-line ball, 6 seconds left on this shot clock.
It was a great block. You know, Fraser had the for me had a jump shot at the top of the key, side to dry, but it was a great block, great chase down and staying with the play.
Callum Jones, he has gone through that 1,000 assist milestone tonight. Fraser just missed the steal. Giants ball. Kieran Allen getting his first minutes for Glasgow this evening. Tyrell Vincent returns. 3 left on the shot clock here. James Jones the inbounder. Callum Jones the recipient. Floater falls, but they say it's a travel.
Who's impressed you tonight from? Who would you be your MVP?
I think having seen him for the first time up close tonight, Dante Thorpe on the ball now, just that versatility that he's bringing to the Rocks, that control, and there you go, the finish. And I think what impressed me, here's someone who hasn't played for several months, was waiting for that call, waiting for the opportunity to come here. And some players, as you know, will stagnate, they'll over panic, they don't practice as much. He's arriving at the start of his professional career, ready to go. And that bodes well for his career ahead, because he has clearly, as you said, been putting in the work.
And it shows. You know, he's taking his opportunity and he's committing to it as well. He's committing to putting in the work. He wants to be one of the players, you know, wants to be a difference maker. He takes ownership defensively. It's just great to see.
Well, 3 there in response. Manchester's lowest points total of the season so far, 57. That loss to Leicester early in the season. Still some ways to get it. Alex Geddes nearly, not quite. Kieran, his hands in the air there. Thought that was going. Drop inside. David Ilf thought he was going to get the foul. Didn't get it. Did get the score though.
Mortimer getting his opportunity. He averages I think he's 2 points a game. He's been very consistent. Every game he's been on, I think he's been putting up the points.
As you can see, young players getting their chance and taking their chance. Vincent double teamed through the foul.
And the difference there, you know, I'm not going to compare Kieran Allen to Abala, but you know, Vincent was double teamed there, and you know, Allen wanted the ball, the 3-point. If he'd made just a quick cut to the basket, he'd have been wide open. But you know, sometimes you don't want to break the play. You want to stay in the space. You know, you're still learning the game. You're kind of, you know, walking on eggshells. But it was just an opportunity there to get some easy points on the board.
David Ilf was fouled out. 2 points, 5 rebounds. Tyrell Vincent takes his tally to 15. 90 seconds left. Bankovic. Vincent with the rebound. Thorpe faked everyone in. Vincent went inside, drew the foul.
I think what Lavande will be saying there right now is that was a great pass there by Thorpe, but if he made the quick pass there to the wing, that would have been a lot quicker into Vincent. So sometimes you don't need to make the home run play. It's maybe the pass for the pass that is actually the main play in the game. That doesn't show up in the stat sheet though.
It's not all about stats. 2-2. Vinci 16 points into the last minute. The crowd, as they do by tradition here, on their feet. Now Mortimer, knocked out of his hands. Simon there getting possession. Falls away. Callum Jones. Hand off to Bankovic, nearly lost it, recovers, guarded by Geddes. 10 on the shot clock. Oh, Geddes did his grind. Not sure if he knocked him over or if he just fell over on top of Geddes, but either way, Geddes picks up his first foul.
It was actually a great foul.
Well, it gets you on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
I always used to do that. Even if I hadn't scored, I'd foul at the end of the game. Make the most of my 1 minute. Tap foul, kick out. Elksness. Won't go, scramble underneath. Vincent with the rebound. Now Thorpe. Is that his score? Not there for Kieran Allen.
Great move, but just didn't commit to the finish.
11 seconds remaining. Manchester will try for one last score. Powell has it. Opts to hold. And that is another victory for Glasgow Rocks. They improve their record to 5-2 in this season's BBL Championship. Likely to stay in second place tonight, assuming that London can finish off their game against Plymouth. That score there, Lions 75-66 to the good, with the Raiders 9 minutes to play. Worcester lead Cheshire 76-61, 2 minutes left there. And Bristol Flowers 83-75 ahead of Leicester with 4 minutes remaining. Manchester still bottom, 0-6 record for them. They are back in action next Sunday against Newcastle. The Rocks at home to Sheffield next Friday night. At the top of the stats tonight, a game high 25 points plus 10 rebounds for Edu Arcase. The Rocks led by 23 points from Dante Thorpe. And the Rocks keep on rolling in the BBL Championship. They beat Manchester Giants 92-53. Here, Chara and me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
I'll see you again soon.
Take it home with you, or do you want to? Huh? You want to take it home with you?
I already put my recycling in today.
Huh?
I already put my recycling in today.
Give it up for the fantastic performance